At the top of the show, we are going straight across to Parliament, where Union Minister Smriti Irani is defending the government against the charges that have been made by Rahul Gandhi and the TMC in Parliament today. Listen in.
और राष्ट्रपति जी के इसी संकल्प, इसी चिंतन को चरितार्थ किया है मोदी सरकार ने। इसलिए अमेठी की सांसद होने के नाते हमारे यशस्वी प्रधान सेवक का मैं आज विशेष आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ, क्योंकि अपने पराये की सोच से परे हटकर मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र में महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के अभिभाषण को अगर मैं अमेठी की दृष्टि से देखूं तो हमने क्या पाया, क्योंकि 50 वर्ष खोया बहुत मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र ने। आज इस सदन में एक सज्जन जिनको अमेठी ने मैजिक दिखाया और विधानसभा के चुनाव में 4 विधानसभा क्षेत्रों की सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट भी जब्त कराई, ऐसे सज्जन ने हमारे प्रधान सेवक पर कटाक्ष किया। लेकिन मैं अमेठी की ओर से आज इस बात का उल्लेख निश्चित रूप से करना चाहती हूं कि जब रूस के साथ भारत में शस्त्र की दृष्टि से नई तकनीक का संचार हो तो 5,000 करोड़ की लागत की असॉल्ट राइफल की फैक्ट्री अमेठी तब आई जब सांसद भारतीय जनता पार्टी का नहीं था बल्कि कांग्रेस पार्टी का था। राष्ट्र के संरक्षण के लिए अपने पराये का भेद ना कर ये उत्तम उदाहरण मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र में प्रस्तुत करने के लिए मैं देश के प्रधान सेवक का आभार व्यक्त करती हूं। महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी ने अपने अभिभाषण में नारी की प्रतिभा, नारी के योगदान और राष्ट्र के भविष्य के निर्माण में नारी की भूमिका को उल्लेखित किया है। आज इस सदन में हमारी एक वरिष्ठ नेता है जो निश्चित रूप से महिलाओं की दृष्टि से महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी के अभिभाषण पर अपने विचार व्यक्त करेंगी, लेकिन एक छोटा सा अपनी ओर से मेरा प्रयास है कि इस सदन को मैं अवगत कराऊं कि ग्रामीण अंचल में महिलाएं जो सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप के माध्यम से अपने परिवार को आर्थिक रूप से सशक्त करती हैं, उनका यूपीए के कार्यकाल में और मोदी सरकार में क्या स्थान रहा। हम सब इस बात को जानते हैं कि एक सदस्य ने यहाँ चुनाव का उल्लेख किया कि एक चुनाव से पहले एक बहुत ही प्रचलित इंटरव्यू था जिसमें विमेन्स एम्पावरमेंट की बार-बार बात हुई, लेकिन वो शब्द धरती पर कितने फलीभूत होते हैं उसका मैं एक प्रमाण यहाँ देना चाहती हूँ। 2009 से लेकर 2014 तक देश भर में सिर्फ 19 लाख सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स को भारत सरकार से सहायता मिलती थी। मोदी सरकार में ये संख्या बढ़कर अब 81 लाख हो गई है। 2009 से लेकर 14 तक जो राशि इन सभी सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स को दी गई वो लगभग 80,000 करोड़ थी, लेकिन मोदी सरकार में 2014 से लेकर 2022 तक ये राशि बढ़ाकर 4,93,000 करोड़ रुपया की गई। मैं प्रधान सेवक जी का विशेष आभार व्यक्त करती हूं कि विमेन्स डेवलपमेंट के मात्र नारे को ट्रांजिशन करके राष्ट्र का अगर उत्थान करना है तो उसमें अहम भूमिका नारी की होनी चाहिए। मात्र इस एक सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप के आवंटन से ही आज वो प्रतिबिंबित होता है कि नारी और विशेषतः ग्रामीण अंचल की महिला की प्रतिभा पर देश के प्रधान सेवक को कितना नाज है और कितना विश्वास है। महोदय, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जी यहाँ उपस्थित हैं। मैंने सदन में पहले भी कहा, आज भी कहती हूँ, हमारे समाज में ग्रामीण अंचल में
Okay, that was Smriti Irani on the floor of the House. At some point, there will be an attack on Rahul Gandhi. There's already been a veiled attack on him, but we are assuming this attack will get a little more intense. We'll go across to that as and when it happens. But let's get on with our top story and our top debate. Post his long walk, Rahul Gandhi was back in Parliament today. He marked his comeback with a run-in with the government. The topic he chose is currently the talk of town, Modi-Adani and his sudden rise to the top. The list of allegations he's making is very long, but the most serious was the one about the Adani group landing the contract of one of India's biggest airports, the Mumbai airport. He's alleging, that is Rahul Gandhi is alleging, that GVK, the company that built the Mumbai airport, was bullied and pressurized by the CBI on behalf of the government to hand over the deal to the Adanis, to hand over the airport to the Adanis. It was a charge that the TMC's Mahua Moitra repeated on the floor of the House as well. Rahul Gandhi is also saying how out of 7 major airports in this country, 6 are in the hands of the Adanis. He wants to know why. The BJP's counter-attack came both inside and outside Parliament. They asked Rahul Gandhi for proof and then listed the corruption scandals against the Gadhis and the Vadras. Listen in.
Strategic, profitable airport, Mumbai airport, was taken away by GVK, hijacked by using the agencies. The agencies को CBI, ED का प्रयोग कर GVK पर दबाव डालकर हिंदुस्तान की सरकार ने उस एयरपोर्ट को अदानी जी के हाथों में कर दिया.
Okay, let me unpack what Rahul Gandhi has said. In 2006, the government of India decided to privatize the Mumbai airport. The GVK group, owned by Dr. GVK Reddy, won that bid. The company would own 74% stake in the airport and the government would own 26%. The joint venture went on to control the Mumbai airport for almost 15 years. But in 2021, GVK Group's stake was bought by another company. No prizes for guessing, it was the Adani Group. Did I mention there were CBI and ED raids on GVK's promoters in July 2020 for alleged money laundering? They were accused of financial irregularities to the tune of 705 crore rupees from the Mumbai airport. In 2021, they released a statement saying they had agreed to cooperate with the Adanis in their airport business. Today, Adanis are the biggest private players in Indian airports. Out of the 8 airports that have been leased out, the Adanis own 7. The list includes Delhi, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Guwahati, and Trivandrum, and Mangalore as well. In fact, 1 out of 4 Indian flyers uses an Adani airport. That's the sort of market dominance Adani has. The question is, how did that dominance happen? Now, according to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, through crony capitalism. In 2020, I'm repeating this, the CBI registered a corruption case against GVK's chairperson, his son, and the former manager of Mumbai Airport. A few officials of the airport authority were also named in this case. There were CBI and ED raids on GVK's promoters in July 2020 for alleged money laundering. They were accused of financial irregularities to the tune of 705 crore rupees from the Mumbai airport. In 2021, they released a statement saying they had agreed to cooperate with the Adanis. While the government officials have now been acquitted, the cases against GVK's chairperson continues. So here is what Rahul Gandhi is saying. He's saying the BJP government has used the CBI to investigate and pressurize the GVK group into letting go of the Mumbai airport. Basically, it paved the road for Adani's takeover. But the government has denied this charge. Law Minister Kiran Rijiju says the privatization of airports was done under the UPA government, so why blame us? He's also telling Rahul Gandhi if he has proof of any wrongdoing, then that proof should be presented in Parliament.
How many times did Adani ji join you later on a visit? How many times did Adani ji travel to a country immediately after you did?
Good question.
And in how many of these countries after you visited did Adani ji get a contract?
Good question.
Also an important question, जरूरी सवाल. अदानी जी ने बीजेपी को पिछले 20 साल में कितने पैसे दिए हैं? इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड्स में कितना पैसा दिया है? और बहुत सुंदर तरीके से चलिए क्या हो रहा है
सर, मैं सिर्फ इतना कहना चाहता हूं, राहुल जी अभी आप सीनियर एमपी हो गए हैं, आप एक सीनियर एमपी हो चुके हैं. हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि इस सदन का सदस्य होने के नाते जो भी बातें आप करेंगे गंभीरता से आप बात करेंगे. बाहर आप जो भी भाषण देते हैं हम लोग उसको रोक नहीं सकते हैं. इस सदन के अंदर में जो भी बात कही जाती है पूरा गंभीरता के साथ, प्रमाण के साथ कहे जाना चाहिए. ये परंपरा है.
Okay, you heard the charges. In fact, Rahul Gandhi even came armed with pictures as proof. We'll put that picture out for you. Picture showing Prime Minister Modi on the plane with Mr. Adani and him boarding an aircraft with the Adani logo. Let's put that picture out for our viewers. So it just wasn't really a wild claim. Rahul Gandhi really wanted to drive home the point that Prime Minister Modi played a crucial role in Adani's meteoric rise. In response, the BJP released pictures of Mr. Adani with Congress chief ministers and Ashok Gehlot. They say even Congress ruled states have done deals with the Adani group. But the problem is, it's not just Congress and Rahul Gandhi saying these things. The opposition has displayed a rare sense of unity on this very issue. TMC MP Mahua Moitra made exactly the same charges against Prime Minister Modi and Mr. Adani. In a typical fashion, she accused the BJP of favouring the Adani group by giving them lucrative contracts. Listen in.
GVK built the Mumbai airport and they did a fantastic job of it. On July 2nd, 2021, CBI filed FIRs against the GVK group. On July 18th, the ED raided GVK in Mumbai and Hyderabad, and then they sold their 50.5% stake in Mumbai airport to a company.
Now, this is the story of every consumer infrastructure project in our country. The government spends our money on these big-ticket projects like airports and highways. They give out tenders to companies like Adani and GVK. But in the end, there is no transparency or accountability. Take the Mumbai airport, for example. How do you think the GVK group landed the privatization contract? The Reddys are considered very close to the Congress. In fact, GVK's close relative, Subbarami Reddy, was a minister in the Manmohan Singh government. GVK himself was given the Padma Bhushan in 2011 by the UPA government. What I'm trying to say is this: whether it's the Congress or the BJP, governments have always had their preferred private players. They give them contracts, help them grow, and shield them from litigation. Guess who suffers? We, the common citizens. Whether it's airport charges for Adani's airports or toll charges at your nearby highways. You and I pay. You and I pay a service charge every time we enter an airport to pay a toll. The least we expect is integrity and transparency when these mega urban infra projects are awarded. But I guess it's too much to ask. Let me go across to my guests who are joining us this evening. Rahul Mehra is a lawyer of the Supreme Court, joining us on the broadcast. Sanjay Jha is an author. Aarti Sathe is spokesperson of the BJP. And Gargi Nandi Roy is a political analyst, also will be speaking on behalf of the BJP. Let me go straight across to Rahul Mehra. Rahul Mehra, what do you make of the charges, the rather sensational charges that have been levelled against Mr. Adani and Prime Minister Modi by Rahul Gandhi?
Well, that's for your political analyst, Mr. Jha, to respond to. I would sincerely believe that, the political party which came to power on the promise of Bhrashtachar Mukt Bharat I don't think Congress ever made that promise, but it's the BJP which made that promise to the people of India. And they've done anything to even address that particular issue. Not an iota of a thing done by BJP-led government over the last 8 years, 9 years. I'll give you small examples. Just look at how MLAs have switched sides from Congress to BJP and some other political parties, but majorly from Congress to BJP. BJP has taken the reins of power post-elections in at least 5 states from Congress: Arunachal, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Manipur, Goa. The list can go on and on, and we all know how these things happen. These are not noble people who had a change of heart overnight post-elections, and they came and sat on the side of BJP. Then look at the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. It's at times it was allegedly also called the most corrupt department in Delhi. I don't know how even a small brick can't be laid because these people have their tentacles all across. However, there's large scale and widespread corruption at the grassroots level, and this is what impacts the ordinary citizen. Look at the way the police operate.
Correct.
People are scared to go and even lodge complaints. There is no security net. Look at how across India in education, health, forged cards are made to get your children into a school, or bribes are given to get a health card. All I'm trying to tell you is there were 3 mechanisms which BJP came with a promise when they came in 2014, subsequently in 19. Number one, at the back of the Right to Information Act and the Lokpal bill, which was then enacted in India after a huge movement. Just look at where Lokpal lies today. There is a rafale which has happened. There are corruption charges left, right, and center on the government today. The person doesn't even think that there is some body called a Lokpal where you can actually go and lodge your complaint. That's what these people have done to Lokpal. Come to the Right to Information Act. Everything has been whittled down, right from appointment of these information commissioners to the CIC to the amendment in 2019 to completely take the power out of the information mechanism. And today, the ordinary citizen, which suffers from corruption on a day-to-day basis, is left to go nowhere. Just also have a sense of how there is no grievance redressal mechanism, and there is no witness protection, rules which have been brought under the Act, and therefore they have been made absolutely meaningless as legislation. Where does an ordinary citizen go? See, there are countries where the corruption is right at the top level. But in India, corruption has seeped right to the rock bottom, right from top to bottom. India is seeped in corruption. There was a global index which was taken. India topped all Asian countries, where 50% of the people actually confessed that they have been indulging in corruption because they were asked to do so. And we have no mechanisms, no laws. If laws are there, then people don't have faith and trust in them because political appointees are there who are manning those institutions. And they have made a complete mockery of every single institution in this country.
Okay, essentially what you're telling me is that a Bhrashtachar Mukt Bharat is something that the common citizen of India is chasing rather valiantly, but it is something that doesn't exist. It is a mirage. Sanjay
Just like Vikas. Just like Vikas.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. Sanjay, what Rahul Mehra is telling us is this, that, I hope I've got you right, that there are, for the common man, this entire Adani, Prime Minister Modi, crony capitalism saga, well, it will not resonate because there are people on the ground, common citizens of this country who are facing corruption at the grassroots level, and there are no redressal mechanisms. He's rightly pointing out the Lokpal, whether it exists or doesn't exist, we do not know. The RTI, the lesser said, the better. Okay, that is one part of the argument that he's making. But Sanjay Jha, there are some very sensational arguments, and points that Rahul Gandhi has made on the floor of the House today. The BJP is saying, where is the proof? So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Can you just shoot and scoot? Can you just say anything and get away with it? Because that is what Rahul Gandhi seems to be doing on the floor of the House.
Shreya, let me tell you that I speak with full responsibility. I've been a former banker. I live in the city of Mumbai. And what Rahul Gandhi has said in Parliament today is something that the Indian political system should be transparent enough to discuss on the floor of the House. If the Congress today was in power, and if the BJP raised this issue, I would back the BJP on it. Because this is an issue of corruption, of corporate malfeasance. And I'm going to just address it in two short statements without making it too technical. I agree with my good friend Rahul Mehra that, end of day, India has a serious problem of opacity, and the common man is a victim of political, corruption at the highest level. And the Lokpal today is a mammoth joke. But let's address the issue of the Navi Mumbai airport. Shreya, I again want to congratulate you for presenting this program in a very neutral manner. You questioned the BJP, rightly so. And you also pointed out that the Congress may have been equally guilty in the past of having its own favorites. Let's come down, however, out of the water boundary to what happened in the Navi Mumbai airport deal. In short, the GVK got completely jammed, if I can use a very parliamentary term, based on an anonymous letter which was apparently sent to the ED or the CBI, which alleged a certain 705 crore scam committed by the GVK. Overnight, the GVK, which had plans to actually, sell some of its stake to raise money to retire its debt, overnight Adani's bought it out. Now, this is where the story gets very, very twisted. Adani's haven't paid any money, by the way, to acquire the airport. I mean, this is the Mumbai airport where I love to travel by, and so do millions of Mumbais. And the Navi Mumbai airport, which is planned to come up in a short while, roughly 227 acres of land. Adani hasn't paid a pry for it. You know what they have done? They've said, we'll take over your debt. So Adani takes over the debt of the GVK. The GVK people are forced to sell out within a month of the CBI ED raids. And we all know that the process is a punishment. And a corporate group that was so well respected was being humiliated publicly. And nobody likes to go to jail, by the way. So the bottom line is Adani gets a big airport of India and the rights to another big airport, which is likely to happen in Mumbai, for nothing at all. Point number two, they take over the debt. How much is the debt? Around 10,000 crores. Now, it is interesting that Adani Group itself is in a huge debt. So how does Adani basically is going to raise debt to pay off the debt of GVK, but get the entire airport for free? 74% stake. It's absolutely, in my opinion, outlandish, outrageous. Doesn't happen in any transparent democracy in the world. This is a case of crony capitalism. And anyone who knows the case will tell you, Shreya, that the GVK group was under threat by the Adanis since 2019, who were trying to buy out their minority shareholders earlier. My last point, Niti Aayog and the Ministry of Finance had warned the government that the entire bidding process is not transparent. They said it is wrong that you're giving one guy 6 airports. And very interestingly, even if I were to believe the government that you needed more participants and therefore prior experience was not necessary, why would you give them 6? They were told give them maximum of 2. So every rule has been violated in the book. Rahul Gandhi has hit the ball out of the park. This is in the public domain. It is not going away anywhere.
Aarti Sathe, then what is the BJP's response to that? We've seen a press conference by your party, by Ravi Shankar Prasad, but instead of giving direct answers to the questions and the allegations that were raised on the floor of the House, all we got was an attack on the Gandhis and the Vadras.
Well, first of all, let me start by saying that such a grim picture has been just now portrayed by 2 of your panelists, almost to say that we are living in an anarchist state with complete lawlessness, and sadly coming from people practicing in the same system. I'm a practicing lawyer myself. And the point here is that, making an allegation without having any supportings or any proof is something which really, it's my word to your word, and having a completely media trial saying that A group is being favored or B group is being favored, or institutions are completely controlled by the government and somebody has been arm twisted to give in and award these projects. I think all this is something which, really the agencies are working independently. In fact, if you see what our finance minister said just a few weeks back, or probably just a few days back, they said that whatever may be the issues insofar as Adani is concerned, the agencies will carry out their job. They're carrying out their jobs. They're fully equipped. They're completely independent.
Okay.
So the question of arm twisting, saying that, CBI raids were carried out, ED was, put behind GVK, and because of which Adani stepped in and the BJP government had the backing, I think all these are baseless allegations. Let me tell you, these allegations are being made today because the opposition really does not have anything in their armory to really come across as a strong opposition. Today, the budget, if you see this time's budget, this budget has been hailed by everybody across all sectors.
Really?
Why? It has not been hailed across all sectors because there's crony capitalism. It has not been hailed across because there is corruption. And are you telling me that the corruption and
Who's
the crony
hailed it,
capitalism was a saga of only 8 years? Please, 1 minute. I have not disturbed anybody while talking and projecting a grim picture. Do not mislead the audience. Do not mislead the youth. Do not mislead this country by
Aarti ji,
saying
your point
that
is
today,
well
because
taken.
a particular government is no. So the point is, I'm trying to make is Mr. Rahul Gandhi
well taken.
says
So
he's
here's
doing
my
a
question.
Bharat Jodo Yatra, but he's not
Point
doing a
well
Bharat Jodo
taken.
Yatra.
Here's my counter question.
Misleading.
Here's my counter
And
question.
he's a matured
You
politician.
are saying that
He's
the
been in the
opposition
Lok
and
Sabha
Rahul
for
Gandhi,
a long time.
Aarti ji, okay. Okay, hear me out. So you're saying it is the opposition that is misleading. Ek minute, Aarti ji. Okay, you've made your point. Aarti ji, now listen to my counter question. All right, you're saying the opposition, there's no, sun lijiye na, sawal sun lijiye, uska jawab de dijiye. You have said that the opposition led by Rahul Gandhi is misleading the people of this country. So just answer these 2-3 direct questions / points that have been raised here by Sanjay Jha and obviously by Rahul Gandhi on the floor of the House as well. Out of the 7 key airports
these are
in this
allegations.
country,
These are
how
allegations.
come 6 are with the Adanis? No. The fact that 6 of them are with the Adanis is not an allegation, ma'am. It's a fact. Please help us understand that.
Adani Group is a businessman. They are a group operating all over India. They are whatever may be the processes for the purposes of winning a bid for the airport, whether it's a greenfield airport, whether it's an airport, because an airport, the bidding process is rather complex. It's not a process where overnight somebody can just bid and get an airport. So, to paint a picture to say that, overnight, like it's almost like a movie thing that overnight somebody walked out and then somebody came in. The bidding process is a complex process. It has got technical bids, it has got financial bids, and it has also something called an OMDA, where the operating management development agreements are entered. So the point being is that, and if there are irregularities, I said the investigation or the agencies will carry out by just saying that, and even in
so
states
Rahul Mehra,
the
the BJP spokesperson is saying that the agencies are completely neutral. They are completely neutral. There were allegations and there was proof of wrongdoing against the GVK. Therefore, the raids happened in 2020. Now, if there are any, any wrongdoing found on the Adanis, there'll be raids on them as well.
So I agree with
the agencies will work.
I agree with Aarti ji. There is absolutely nothing.
Ek minute. So
everything is.
The agencies will work independently.
Everything
so
is.
Now to say that everything is crony capitalism is incorrect.
Aarti ji, let others speak, please.
Please.
Okay. Aarti ji, beach mein, there's no point, coming in with a sentence each when another guest starts speaking, simply because, we just lose sight of who's saying what. So just give Mr. Mehra 40 seconds and then we can come back to you and Sanjay. Go ahead, Mr. Mehra.
So I agree with Aarti ji that there is absolutely nothing wrong. There are no alleged scams which are going on in India. The country is just wasting its time, and you as a media house and everybody else is just bothered about something which is not even a allegation. We all think that there is some substance to it because of the track record and the closeness and the proximity of the two individuals being involved, talked about out here. But I would like to give you a flavor of how bad the things are, and how people, when they switch tracks. And Aarti ji, BJP came on the plank by saying that we will eradicate corruption in India because corruption was at its all-time high under Congress.
I'll give you examples later.
Just a minute. I'm not addressing to you. I'm just telling you. So there are zero expectations from Congress, from the commoner, from the common man. But there were huge and very high expectations from BJP when they came that hum bhrashtachar mukt Bharat denge. Nothing of that sort has happened. Your chief minister, allegedly there were scams, land and mining scam in Karnataka, who again you made the chief minister. There is a very prominent leader in Assam who is now again who has switched sides and become your leader. He was corrupt and ED raids were happening when he was on the other side. And all those ED raids are not happening now. He's a very dignified and a tall leader of Northeast when he comes to you. There was a TMC leader who switched side and suddenly all raids were put in the back burner. So please don't tell the people of India, please don't challenge the intelligence of the common man of India by saying that these raids and these things have nothing to do with anything else. Obviously, arm twisting is done through these agencies. These are caged parrots, as the Supreme Court very rightly had said at a particular point in time. And those caged parrots today, earlier they probably had some voice somewhere. They had some leg to stand. They had a little bit of a spine. Today they are in the ICU. They are actually on a ventilator. And they, everything is at the hands of the strings are in the hands of the political masters. So therefore, please do not challenge the intelligence of a common citizen in India. उनको सब पता है, ये public है, सब जानती है.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, they have only one way to communicate it to the political masters, which is unfortunately after every 5 years.
Let me get in Gargi Nandi Roy.
Yeah.
Gargi Nandi Roy, perception is almost everything in... let me get in Gargi in. Gargi, in politics, perception is everything. What is the perception that is going out after Rahul Gandhi and Moitra have made the allegations that have been made on the floor of the House? That there is a clear and visible proximity between the ruling dispensation and the Adanis, because of which rules and regulations and norms have been twisted to benefit them, especially when it comes to airports in this country. Now, I as a citizen want transparency because every time I enter an airport, I'm paying a service fee. I need to know whether the deal was above board or not. And the impression that has gone out today is that this deal was not above board. Dal mein kuch kala hai.
Yeah, as you asked in the beginning, the perception, yes, and my previous speaker, he called about the public sab jante hai. Shreya, public sab jante hai, and that's why Modi ji today has 78% of approval rating. What corruption he is talking about, if people of India would have felt the same, then Modi ji would not have been the tallest leader with 78% approval rating. Now coming to the Adani issue, I'm appalled, Shreya, I'm literally appalled to see the hypocrisy of the Congress and the TMC. In Rajasthan, what is the investment of Adani? More than 35,000 crore. Coals are mined from Chhattisgarh. Adivasis have protested till the coals were mined and carried to Rajasthan. 1,320 megawatt power plant, 10,000 megawatt solar power plant in Rajasthan. Then the Adani has also secured the Tajpur port in West Bengal, 25,000 crore. Don't you think it is the sheer hypocrisy of these parties? I don't know how they talk like this. And in 2006, when GVK was given the bid, it was basically a consortium led by GVK. There was also airport company, South Africa and Bidwest. So international companies can come and have the win the bidding of our airports, no problem. But an indigenous company, when that person is working good, why are they so much against? An Indian businessman, I do not understand. And about the bidding, why Adani won 5 out of 6 when the 6th airport the bid was happened. because he had mounted aggressive bidding. He had offered higher payment for passenger fee to Airport Authority of India. So that was one of the main reasons. So there was total transparency. When a bidding happens, if he was paying higher payment for passenger fee to the Airport Authority, that's why he had won. And that's why he is doing. Nobody is talking about how GVK got. There was, and 50.5% he had taken from GVK. He had taken from the South African investors also. So why you have no problem when a foreign company comes and takes over the airport? No problem in that. Why you are against Adani
Sanjay Jha,
when there is a hit job happening in Hindenburg?
This point was bound to be raised by the BJP.
Because he has got the Haifa port in Israel. There's a lot of international politics. Congress and TMC are being part of those international forces against Adani. Why? When in your own state, Adani is invited with folded hands. Why? Let them first, let Sanjay Jha answer why 35,000 crore
investment. No, you're saying there is an international... Gargi, what is this? Gargi ji, what is this? You're actually saying on the show that there is an international conspiracy against Mr. Adani and his group of companies, and the TMC and Rahul Gandhi and the Congress are part of it. ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा नहीं हो गया है? Anyhow, let me just Sanjay Jha, but Gargi ji makes a very important point, and this is a
why today they are picking up the questions.
अच्छा ठीक है, but
GVK had to pay a
okay.
So under the pressure.
Okay, no, let me ask Sanjay Jha. At least let me ask Sanjay Jha the answer to your very important question. Gargi ji, sun लीजिए. You have raised a very important point, and that point needs to be answered. Sanjay Jha, please respond to what Gargi ji is saying. She is saying that who are you to point fingers at Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi's relationship and flash pictures in Parliament when you know that the Adanis have made major investments in Congress ruled states, including Rajasthan, and there are pictures with Mr. Robert Vadra and with Mr. Gehlot as well. If he is such a shady character, why are you guys dealing with him? It's a good point that Gargi ji makes, and it's one that the Congress has not been able to answer satisfactorily.
Well, its answer is actually very straightforward. What has Rahul Gandhi asked the Prime Minister? He's asked it of Mr. Modi, not the BJP. Shreya, let's make a distinction. I honestly feel sorry for the Bharatiya Janata Party today, because they are all being forced to become lawyers for Mr. Modi. Let's get this clear. The Prime Minister, when he was being sworn in, he flew on Adani's plane. So I feel sorry for the BJP today, because they have to defend Mr. Modi. Now, let me answer your question. Rahul has asked questions of Mr. Modi and the central government intervention in favoring Gautam Adani. If the BJP today believes that Mr. Adani has got some project in West Bengal or Rajasthan or any other state, and they believe that it has been an out-of-turn favor, please go and question Mr. Gehlot, who's stopping you. So that's a very simple, straightforward, uncomplicated answer. But let me tell you something else, because I don't think she's aware of what really happened in the Navi Mumbai airport and the Mumbai airport deal. You know what the government did, Shreya? Earlier in the privatization game, the private operator was given a 30-year lease. This government has made it 50 years, number one. Number two, the Airport Authority of India had a 26% equity stake in the airport. That is now being taken away. So you have a situation today where the period of lease has been lengthened. Number two, no expertise is required. So Shreya, actually, if you and me, if you and I could have found a funder, today you could have been owning the Mumbai airport, or I could have been owning the Mumbai airport, because we needed no experience. We had to pay no money to the GVK. All we needed was somebody who said that she has integrity and she can understand a balance sheet and a P&L statement. Who knows, if you and I had a chat about this 3 years ago, who knows, today you and I would have been owners of the Mumbai airport. Now, that's a farcical game being played out today in broad daylight. It's a crony capitalism scam of the highest order. The markets have given the message in the way they have knocked off $110 billion of the valuation of the Adani Group.
Can I just
Ms. Sathe, I can give you 10 seconds to respond. Okay, 10 seconds to both of you. Can I just give 10 seconds to Ms. Sathe first? Because she was waving her hand rather frantically when Sanjay Jha was making a point. Ms. Sathe, please go ahead. And these will be your closing comments, because we are going to hear from the Prime Minister, by the way, tomorrow on the floor of the House.
Sure, that will be, I think, the real answer. But the point I'm making is that I don't think the defense here is of X personality or Y personality. I think the defense here is of the fact that, don't make allegations without really having anything in your hand. And like Mr. Roy said in a very perfect fashion, that even in the Congress-ruled governments, there have been Adani projects. And like I said, the bidding process, or even the fact that the stake sale happened earlier, there was a South African entity, which was Bidwest, which was a South African entity insofar as the Mumbai airport was concerned. And which also you require the expertise. You can't really bid for an airport without having some sort of expertise. And the point here is that today, as I said earlier, the opposition does not have any plank to oppose this government. So any opportunity, whether it is baseless, whether it has any substance in it, they go behind it. And again and again,
the government seems to be giving them many opportunities, ma'am. The government seems to be giving them many opportunities, so the opposition is having a field day. I need to wrap this chat. I need to wrap this chat, ma'am.
Can I just get 10 seconds?
No, I can't wrap this chat.
If they had a plank, then the popularity of this government wouldn't have risen. And like I agree with Mr. Mehra that we have a very, very mature polity. They will not keep repeating the same government and a thumping majority. I always say.
So what is the argument that you're making?
Can I just
that is perfectly okay for a government to indulge in crony capitalism because the people of India in any case are voting for them. That's the argument that you're making. Only 10 seconds. Rahul, completely out of time. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Aarti,
okay, Ms. Sathe, you've had your point. Go ahead, Rahul. Go ahead, Rahul.
So what we are being told in defense by the BJP spokesperson is that Congress leaders too are indulging in it and were indulging in it. So it's fine for us because they are being seen with Adani. So what's wrong if I'm being seen with Adani? That's point number one. But which was the party with a difference? Was it Congress or is it BJP? Party with a difference. Have you forgotten that slogan? Or was that a jumla? And secondly, two wrongs never make a right. So either you are saying कि इस हमाम में हम सब नंगे हैं, that's fine. That's the conclusion that the common people can draw then. That they did it in the past. We have the license to kill now. We will do it right now. But please do not equate yourself with the Congress of the past because people of India have kicked them out, thrown them out. And please don't test the common sense of the common man because then you will have the same fate, unfortunately.
We leave it there for the moment, Rahul. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't test the common sense of the common man. Let's see what the Prime Minister says tomorrow. We are expecting a defense to come from the Prime Minister. Let's see if that comes. We leave it there. Rahul Mehra, good to have you on the show. Sanjay Jha, good to have you on the show. Aarti ji and Gargi Nandi Roy, thank you very much for being on the show as well.